Hello, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z here on YouTube documenting my financial journey. Today we're going to do a budget with me. It is Thursday, February 25th right now, and I always get my paycheck deposited into my account one day early for my payday, which is Friday. So here you can see my paycheck for tomorrow, and I'm just going to go ahead and enter this now, and I'm going to change this amount because it was 15 cents instead of 16. I'm also going to take a minute and just reconcile my accounts.
This transaction to M1 Finance, is that cleared? So if I reconcile, is my current account balance $2,992.32? It is. The account that I should have to reconcile is my credit card. Transaction to Apple Storage cleared, so is my account balance $445.13? It is.
So I have gone ahead and reconciled all of my accounts, so we can flip back to the budget screen. If you don't know, I am using YNAB or You Need a Budget. It is, in my personal opinion, the best budgeting software system and philosophy out there. I always have a link in my description box down below if you would like to try a 34-day free trial. If you use that link to start your free trial and then you end up subscribing to the program for a year, you will get another month for free added on. So this is my second full-time job paycheck for the month. And as you can see, everything in February is pretty much budgeted for, and that's because I budget 1 month ahead. So if we flip forward into March, you can see I already have lots of things budgeted for in March as well. And we're gonna go ahead and finish out budgeting for March and see what we have left over from there. The first thing I wanna do is just make sure I don't have any overspending in either month, and I shouldn't. We should all be clear, and we are. So my annual subscriptions for March are covered. I just set aside a little bit every single month so that when these subscriptions come due, I have the full payment ready and it doesn't mess up my budget at all. Next, we're gonna go to my responsibilities, and you can see I need to budget another $200 for my bills to my mom. In monthly varied living, I have covered gas, dining out, and other and miscellaneous, so that's covered, and I don't budget anything for fun unless I spend from that category, and since I still have $100 in here, I haven't spent anything from there yet. I've covered my donations and my gifts already, so we're gonna start by doing $50 into my family giving sinking fund. Next, I still need to fund $250 for my Roth IRA. Now I have $500 available. In my brokerage, if I come down here, you can see that I still need to fund $100, and that's to cover the last 2 weeks of March. So I have automatic transactions out of my checking account and into my brokerage account every Monday for $50. And in this case, there are 5 Mondays. So we're going to budget another $100 for $250. Now I'm going to come down to my sinking funds. I'm going to do $50 for car ownership, and normally at this point I would do $25 for clothing, but you can see here I have $650 available for clothing, and I just have not bought a lot of clothes the past year and a half because of COVID. I'm not going outside of my house, so I don't need to replace clothes or buy new clothes or anything. So $650 I think is more than enough to cover all of my clothing costs, probably at least for the next year. So I'm gonna come down to this goal and I'm gonna edit it, and then I'm gonna delete the goal and just be happy with the $650 that is currently in here. And I'm going to edit the line item as well so that I don't have that note to do $25. I'll enter a note here just for myself for future reference if I ever forget why I'm not putting money into clothing. So I've saved that note. But I will keep contributing $15 to my electronics category and $150 to my travel and trips. That puts me at $1,400 in there, and I'm starting to think about how much money I want in this travel and trips. Obviously, I'm not traveling a lot right now, but I mean, it is looking more hopeful for maybe like the later half of 2021 and definitely into 2022. Hopefully travel and just being able to like go out and do things becomes a thing again, and I think I'll be happy with having a little bit of a large sinking fund built up here. I don't think I'm going to be funding anything else in these sinking funds down here. That leaves me with $273.15. So since March is all taken care of, I'm actually going to come back to February and put this money into some February savings items. So if we come down to savings, you can see I have a goal here to save $200 a month towards this car replacement category. So I'm going to cover that. And then that leaves me with $73.15. Let's see, if I come down to my wish farm, which I did a whole video on wish farms and wish lists and how you can use them, especially in YNAB. So check out that video if you haven't already. I'm currently working on this wish list item, the laser hair removal, and I have a savings goal of $600. I currently still need to fund it by $156. The only problem is I don't necessarily have a timeline for this. I'm not exactly sure when I would get this done, so I'm not in any real worry to like fully fund it. But we could do maybe $56.42 so that I only have $100 left to fund this, and that still leaves me with $16.73. I'm just going to put this in my holding category and I will worry about it later. My current plan is to kind of put the leftover at the end of every month, $6, $16, whatever it is, into this holding category, and then if I need to pull from it for any reason, I can. But if not, at the end of every quarter, so in this case it's going to be at the end of March, I will take whatever is in here available at the time and move it to be budgeted, and then just budget it all out kind of like a bonus or an extra paycheck. Okay, so that's going to be it for my actual budgeting of the paycheck. It was really quick, which tends to be the case with YNAB. Make sure you hit the like button if you ever experience that with YNAB yourself, where you budget and you're done within like 2 minutes and you're like, oh, I have to wait 2 more weeks to get more money. Okay, so even though my budgeting is over, I did want to go ahead and show you how I decide how much money I should be keeping in my checking account and how much I can move over to my savings. I've shown this a couple times on my channel, but it's been a while. So I go to the furthest out month that I have money budgeted into, which in this case is just March. Then I select the categories that I know I don't need this money for at least a month or two. So for me, that's going to be anything in the savings category. This is all my long-term savings and emergency fund. I know I don't need any of this money in the wish farm for a while. I'm not in any rush, like we already talked about, to spend any of this, so I'm going to select that as well. All of my sinking funds, for the most part, can be selected as well. I'm going to want to keep all of the money in my fire category in my checking account, because those are always automatically deducted from my checking account every week or every month. Donations I'm not going to put into savings, but gifts I can keep in savings, because honestly I don't have a lot of gifts spending until like the last half of the year, so I don't really need almost $500 in my checking account for gifts for now, so I'll just select all of that. Same thing with family giving. I don't have any plans right now to give anything. And then I try to keep my monthly varied living, I try to keep that in a checking account. And then same thing with my responsibilities, because I'm going to pay that to my mom on the first of every month, so there's no point in transferring it out just to transfer it back in. Subscriptions and credit card payments, I like to kind of keep that outside of my savings account as well. So once I've selected all of the specific categories that I know I don't need that money for a while, I come over here and you can see this total available number is $20,000. So that is how much I could have in my savings. So if we look over here to my budget, it's a little bit more complicated now, because I currently have several savings and checking accounts open, which is not my personal preference, but I opened up a Chase checking and Chase savings account to get a $500 bonus. I do have $15,000 already in that Chase savings account, and then I have $1,000 in that Chase checking account. You can see I have almost $2,000 in M1 spend, which is a checking account that is currently providing 1% APY for me, so it's pretty good yield. And then I have only $300 in my main savings credit union, and this $15,000 that I moved to Chase, all of that money used to be in my main credit unions. If I open up a calculator here, you can see 15,000 plus 1,850 plus 300. I already have about $17,150 out of my checking account, so we're going to take 20,000 minus, we'll just round up to 17,200. So you can see I can move about $2,800 out of my checking account and into savings. So I think what I'm going to do is just work to make this credit union savings account $3,000. So it currently has $313 in there. So if I just take 3,000 minus 313.18, I'm going to go ahead and enter in a transfer on my banking app. I'm doing this as we speak. So now I'm going to enter that transaction in YNAB as well. It will be a transfer to my savings account. And the outflow again is $2,686.82. save that. So now I have $3,000 in my credit union savings account. The other way you can do this is kind of conversely. So what is everything that you know you need to keep in your checking account? I know I need to keep my responsibilities in my checking account. I know I need to keep the fire section in my checking account. If I look over here, you can see that if I select those two specific things, that is $1,300, which is how much I have in my checking account now available. Like I said, it gets a little bit confusing to decide how much money to keep in each account, the more accounts you have, especially when you use YNAB. So my personal preference is to not have all of these accounts that I do, but after March comes, I can start to move money out of my Chase accounts. I can't close them yet, but I can start to move money out of my Chase accounts because by then I would have received the entire bonus. And once that happens, I can move my money back into one or two main accounts, which is much more easier to handle and is just my personal preference. The more accounts I have, the less happy I am. Please make sure you are subscribed down below so that you can receive notification when I post my February budget wrap-up and review, where I would go over all of my income and all of my spending for the month. I also did a mid-month check-in for February, so if you have not seen that video yet, make sure you watch that. And then finally, the last thing we're going to do is announce the winner of the giveaway. So here is the randomizer that I am using. I put in everyone's YouTube name who commented on my January paycheck number 1 video who was eligible to enter into the giveaway, and we are now going to spin the wheel to see who wins. Okay, congratulations, Aofi, how do you say this? Okay, congratulations to, I don't know how to say their name, but this person. I'm gonna leave your response on your original comment, and we're gonna figure out a way so that I can send you that money. So thank you to everyone who entered into the giveaway. So if you didn't win this one, I will be doing future giveaways on my channel, so make sure that you stay subscribed and that you catch every video for when I announce those. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram as well at ZNELfinance. And as always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.